What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. If you don't know who I am, I'm the author of Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the Palm of Your Hand. You can grab that book here, and the description links are on Amazon, as well as some of our other new books that are coming out. And I just want to go over this because people are like, the crash, the housing crash. If you go look at several other YouTubers, several other housing specialists, there won't be any crash. Let's just go here. And not in the southern east states. Let's go here. 2021, 48%. Let me tell you again, 48% of all housing purchase was in the southeast states. So, I mean, you're talking about out of 50 states, only a small contingent of states did almost half the real estate sales. So there's this argument about this crash coming, and it's people are one underestimating the geographical moving of people. Two, they're underestimating people in the actual cities. If you go to southern Florida, people from southern Florida are moving to northern Florida. If you go to Texas, people in other parts of Texas are moving around. You go to North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. There's a lot of movement within the area, right? So I did a previous video called Housing Affordability. The locals don't want housing, and that one is a somewhat of an attack, but some also a, let's be really honest. Are you truly buying a house? Are you truly having a stake in ownership in your city, or only doing it now because it's trendy, or also because you can't afford to stay there as a renter anymore? Okay. So this video is going to be about new construction in Texas and why you're going to see a ton more new construction. As a person, disclaimer, who has purchased over 10 land lots in Texas and also land lots in North Carolina and also Florida near St. Lucie, will be participating in new construction building this year. Again, one of my mentors is Jerome Montanalo. You can look down, come up. Andy's Buy Houses. He'll be on the channel here soon. And people say, well, no, housing's going to crash. It's going to be so great. And I'm just going to tell you, for in-demand areas, especially the Southeast, now, this doesn't apply to Detroit and Ohio and those places, but in these areas, these demand areas, you're going to see a ton more new construction. We still have land where we can go this way. You go in northern cities, you can only go vertical, right? You go into parts of Houston, you got to build a 4-story house to make it make money, to make it make sense. We still have a lot of this going on. And a big thing is our inventory is ugly, old, and bad. And the truth, if you actually look at Dallas and some of these areas, the reason people complain so much about the housing in those areas is because of the sand, the settling, and other issues. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull this screen up for you guys here. And we're going to go here to the first city. Actually, we're going to go to Austin first, just to give you the comparison of what I'm talking about. This is Austin, Texas. Now look at the size and shape of this house. It's $359,000. It's a crap house. This inventory is old, it's decrepit, and it's going to go over asking value because of the area it's in. But if you actually look at it, you're going to have to do some repairs. You're going to have to do at least 20 grand in updating the kitchen and other parts, bathrooms usually. Windows is a big issue here in Austin. You meet people with windows from 1980, single pane, condensation rolling down the side of the window, and it's bad. It's just no other way to explain it than people know this housing is, in my opinion, needs renovation. But because it's such a hot market right now, they're just going to try to slide through with, to me, subpar housing. So, from the front yard to the backyard, this whole thing needs about $20,000 to $40,000. And it's near downtown. It's near University Hills. And so it will get that full price, and if not, then some, right? Unfortunately. Now, let's go into another piece of housing. This is another piece of, and I'm purposely choosing poor quality housing in this video to make my argument. Disclosure. This is another house, $350,000 is higher than most people's starter home budget. This house is going to need repair. You have no garage. The windows are old. This is something that's going to need $20,000, $30,000, right? And they could take it off market, put the money in it, and put it back on market and sell it. I am not without fail that they could do this. Again, this is near South Austin, South Congress, William Cannon. This is below Austin downtown. Again, older homes, right? And now this is comparative. Let me just drive around Austin and pay 400 grand and get a brand new, absolutely home, new construction. Now, out of those scenarios, where I need to save money, 350, you got to put almost 40,000 into it. You're already almost at 400, right? brand new construction, walk-in done, ready to go. And this is why you're going to continue to see new construction in Austin. When there's areas like Ohio, Michigan, parts of Kentucky where it makes sense to buy something older and fix it up, the pricing usually makes sense. The pricing's usually, $50,000. Now, I showed you that just to kind of give you some comparison. Well, let me get over here. Sorry, let me get back a little bit. New construction here. And I could show countless new construction. But I'm going to go over to this one as well. This is another old house, 365, right? So I'm paying 365, and then this one may look more updated, but I'm still certain you're going to put some money somewhere. I don't know where yet. Maybe a roof. Okay, the kitchen, right? Is this move-in ready? It's move-in ready for someone. Okay, so and not terrible. You still can get some type of a deal, but let's go on to where people ask. Let me see if this one's more decent. Again, back in that 420 range, not absolute new construction, but a home that's only been probably lived in maybe 2 or 3 years, right? So still better to go ahead and spend the extra 50 and get a newer home that's already done. Now, let me go ahead and show you why people get frustrated with this pricing in Austin. This is Killeen. The same shape house we just showed you, $148,000. That's right. $200,000 less for a house 45, 50 minutes outside of town in another city, right? And you can say what you want about Killeen and housing and schools. And Killeen has a ton of new construction going on there as well. A ton. A lot of military veterans use it for retirement, but you also see on the other end, they have some crappy 50K houses that you could buy and tear down, honestly, and build a whole new thing in that same lot space. That's very prevalent in Killeen. Okay. Now let's go down here let's go a little bit further. I'm going to show you what you get for almost 300,000 in Killeen. See if I can get it over. Okay. We're still at the 180s. We're not even out of 180 yet in Killeen for sale, right? Spacious, ranch style. Okay. Relatively newer. Let's see here. Trying to pick some good selections for you guys. Okay, this one right here. These are relatively new. 194. Brand new house. Probably one owner lived in. This is why people say, well, I'll just stay in Killeen. I'll just drive into Austin. What's the point of me paying double price when I can get newer? Now I'm going to show you guys 300,000 in Killeen. Get to it. Let me see. It's taking me a while to get there. That's how affordable it is in comparison. And I'm using the word affordability loosely here, just the average income in America. Again, these are 200 for 205. You're getting a brand new house, essentially, in Killeen. Zoom in a little bit there. So for half, 200,000 less. And you'll notice this, like if you go look into some of these forums, some of these YouTube pages, you have literally military people retiring to Killeen, getting a brand new house for 200K, and they don't care if they ever go step foot in Austin. They love telling people they're near Austin. They don't step foot here because there's plenty to do where they are. Okay, so let me go. Again, we're just trying to go up on this list to 350 in Killeen. And you see we're passing by bigger houses. So let's just go ahead and put price here. Let me go ahead and put 300. Let me show y'all what you get. 300 to 450. Let me show you what you get in Killeen. Okay. Huge, massive houses. 260,000 square feet. New construction, 2,400 square feet. New construction, 307. 310. Look at that. We're at 310 now. Right? And so what I want people to understand is 9 times out of 10, if you have a husband and wife and the main things y'all care about is how close you are to traffic and a home and to your church and your kids' school. This is why when the argument of people moving from California to Texas, they don't care, right? As long as they have each other, you know what I'm saying? They can make a new community where they are. Again, this is a deal. 312. Look how big this house is. Look how much yard you're getting. All right. Let me go back again, because I just want to show y'all the comparables, that what you're hearing people arguing about Texas being overpriced and people are coming up raising the prices, because this is comparably what they're getting 40 minutes down the street. This is 330. Again. Okay, so let's even go back. Did we even make it to 400s? We haven't. We're still going bigger and bigger. So, you know, new construction is going to be very popular in Killeen. There's land lots I bought near to a Killeen, not even having to be in Killeen. So again, you're getting 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house. Okay, I think we're finally getting close to 400. Massive house, right? Massive. Okay, so now we're talking about, let me see, I'm trying to get our biggest one. Just trying to give y'all a comparative to that 420 we were showing earlier. Okay, so here we go. 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 547 square feet, 23, basically 1/4 of an acre. All right. It's just opportunity, right? So let's go over to San Antonio, because people are saying, well, what about San Antonio? Everybody's talking about San Antonio. San Antonio has a bunch of these junk houses. This is why wholesaling was so popular in San Antonio. You had a bunch of these small homes, and people would, you know, nickel dime people for these homes for $15K when I first moved to Austin. Now they're at 35, 40, but they'll always be there because they're a tear down. You're essentially buying this acre to tear this down. There's no amount of construction you're going to put into this to make this worth living. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 800 square feet. It's a tear down. That's all it is. These are tear downs, right? Okay, so we're in San Antonio. Let me go again, further down. Again, these are properties in San Antonio. That's why people are like, I'm going to San Antonio. I'm like, and this is what you're going to see. A lot of shacks falling into the ground in San Antonio. There are parts of San Antonio that look like shacks falling into the ground. This is 100K in San Antonio, y'all. I'm not trying to be awful, but I'm like, people are trying to convince you San Antonio is this gold mine, and I'm like, half of San Antonio and most parts of Texas have this old housing that needs to be torn down. That needs to be, new construction needs to come. Period. It needs to take some of this stuff away. Now let's go up. And again, there's over 6,000 housing in here, so we won't run out of things to see. Okay, let's get up to about 150. Okay. And I'm doing this just because I really want you guys to see what I'm talking about here. Let's go 2 more up, because there's just old inventory that needs to be. We're going pages. We're 4 or 5 pages in, and we're still at 135,000. So people always telling you about, oh man, I'm going to San Antonio, and I'm like, it's so cheap because they have so much old inventory that needs to be absolutely demolished. That's all. Okay, so let me go over. I may have to put it in to get the price I need. Let's see. Let's go 185. Yeah, 180. Let's see what we get. To 250. And this is San Antonio. Okay. We did this so we can chop it down. There's still 1,200 homes, almost 1,200 homes in that price range. So let's go on down. All right. There's 180. We're still seeing old inventory. Whew, real old inventory. Right. But people are trying to convince you, man, I'm going to San Antonio because it's cheap. I'm like, yeah, it's cheap because it's 1930s housing that needs to go to trash. Okay, so we're still in the 180s. Man. All right, let's get over here. Let's go up a couple pages. See if we can get close to 200. All right, we're getting a little bit better. We're at 190. We're getting some housing that looks a little bit better. Maybe that one, the 192. Okay, we're getting some improvements. Okay, you're getting a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 195. Okay, this is a new construction. I don't know what's going on in this neighborhood. Don't quote me on that part, but new construction, 195. You're getting 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And this is literally the only choice they really have for a lot of the parts in San Antonio is to completely tear down the tear down house and build new construction there. The inventory's too old. And people are trying to sit here and convince you that, oh man, it's so affordable. This is crazy. We have thousands of, let's go even go up to 250. 250 to 350 because literally we're still in horrendously old inventory. All right. So now we've gone up. Now we're in new construction land. We're getting bigger houses, older houses, but still some newer stuff, you know. Okay. That's much better. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. There we go. Right? We finally got to 250 and it's decent. Decent new construction. There you go. So when people say, oh man, Killeen ain't nothing going on there, I'm like, San Antonio got shacks on the ground. What are you talking about? Now, can you drive further out and get 180 in a neighboring spot near San Antonio? Yes, you can. I'm just showing you. I literally just put in San Antonio, like the concrete middle part, which is a huge city. Huge city. Okay. Here, 250, we're getting decent looking housing. Okay, we're getting some nice stuff for 250. I mean, this is why, no knock, no harm, no foul, but there's a couple YouTubers who, oh, we bought a house and it was just in terrible condition in San Antonio, so we sold it and moved to an apartment. And I'm like, okay, show me the house. Then they show you the house. They bought it for like 89,000, and I'm like, what did you expect from this house? This house needed $50,000 in repair. You're a YouTuber. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. Just say that. Don't blame the housing, because there's plenty of cheap housing in San Antonio. You didn't want that. You wanted a deal, and you didn't have money to finish the deal. That's all. So again, for 250 in San Antonio, you're getting up there, getting nice stuff, you're getting quality stuff. So San Antonio, Killeen, if they're, again, and I say this not in a disrespectful manner, but if you're a family with kids, the only concern you really have at this point is the school system. But as far as the housing, you got cheap housing. The housing affordability cries. If you ain't doing nothing but going to Austin once a month to party, you can do that on a weekend. Because if you live here and you don't have any money to do anything, and you can't go eat at the restaurants, and you can't enjoy the life, and you can't enjoy the water, the parks, well, what's the point of living here? You might as well move further out, get you a house you can afford, and go enjoy your life. Point blank period. Because people really ain't about that life. People ain't going downtown to party every day. Because if they were, they'd be in an apartment right downtown. But they're not. So these are brand new construction homes for $250. San Antonio. Completely. Now I'm running up to just nothing but new construction at this point, almost. So when people say, oh, can you really get a lot of house in Texas? You can. You can. Some new construction. So I just wanted to put this little video together because I think there's some delusions about housing being affordable, and why do we have so much new construction going on in Texas? It doesn't make any sense. And it's going to be a housing crash. And it's like, if we're new construction is starting off at 200, 195. If someone's crying they have an affordability issue, they really have an income issue at this point. Because 195, we're talking about a very low mortgage here. Even if we go here to the 250, 251, you're talking about a mortgage of, let's see here if I played around with it, 1,596, which they're going to pay for a 3-bedroom apartment more than that, period. They're going to pay more for that than an apartment. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully some of this made some sense to y'all. That you can get a starter home in San Antonio. You can get a starter home in Georgetown. You can get a starter home in Killeen. You can get a starter home in Salado. Starter home prices just don't exist in Austin because of the workforce, right? San Antonio has a lot of plumbers, electricians, military folk. And Killeen's number one industry is military and retired military. Don't hit the messenger. All right, you guys, this is your girl, Erica. If you have questions, comments, and concerns about Texas new construction, why we're going to have more new construction, what is the quality of the inventory we actually have here, why is there so much building and we still need more building, and why wholesalers don't make a lot of money in this area, because we're literally selling shacks on the ground in San Antonio for $100K that they're just going to tear down. This is part of this reason why, and this is part of why I did this whole series here. But I'll be doing more, and I hope this was helpful. This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Please put your questions about housing in here. I want to help. I want to talk more. So thank you.